That troubleshooting almost took so long that I finished my enchilada. Isn't that crazy? Restream. Today it was your fault. Today it was Restream being really annoying, linking to everything. The other times, though, so far OBS is undefeated in being a pain in my ass, but still better than Streamlabs as far as I'm concerned. Hello, hello. Let's get that fortune out the gate. Yes? Are you joking?
I literally put these away and then I looked up and saw the tip of a little ear up in the I was like...
I was calling for him and everything. What a toad.
I know, he put himself in.
I'm not surprised, but I am annoyed.
Yeah.
Cats.
But I think...
I looked everywhere. Inside, outside, upside down. Huh? Ah, yeah. Yeah. That's how he does. Hazards of the job. The answer was arson. OBS used so much processing power. No, honestly, if that's the way I go, that's the way I go. You know what I mean? OBS burning me alive in my bed, as is written. You know, I'm supposed to lose an eye first. That's the prophecy, but it will be fire based. Listen, I've been working super hard on trying to figure out what our what our cult symbol will be, and it has to have something to do with fire. Now, whether or not that's like a triangle or if that's actual like flames, or maybe just like that like pretty orange hue of like your intermediate level fire. You know, fire is actually blue and white in some instances. Like on purpose, with no extra any. Yeah, I'm working on it. Okay, I gotta feel the bridge flow through me, and then you know that the cards are adequately shuffled. There, you are passed. Oh, neat. I got the sickle, which I think I've told you guys already. I used to have a sickle just like this. But it was a real bitch and a half to sharpen, so I replaced that with a Japanese style sickle, which is just like a little 90-degree tool. Pretty sick, actually. 10 out of 10. If you guys garden, 10 out of 10. Highly recommend. So that one is giving Let It Go. This one is Recharging. Interesting. More optimistic third cards, please, I beg of you, universe. I'm so sick of you drawing this card. Do you know how statistically unlikely it is how often you do this? Okay. This is an insane read, you guys. So it's giving letting go, reflection, and getting back out on the... Okay. Hopefully we didn't bug out there, but it's giving let it go, reflect, and get back at it, dog. The crazy amount of times that, Max specifically draws the bounty card is insane to me. Like, at this point, and it's not even the bounty card, it's Autumn, but I just, like, every single time he pulls this, it, like, rewires my brain to be like, oh, pumpkin spice latte season's coming around, and then I'm just like, oh no, universe. You had to be specific, didn't ya? Anyway, this is the best enchilada known to man. I know what you're thinking. Oh, did your Mexican neighbor make this for you? No. My white mother-in-law made this for me, but she is a chef, so delicious. I feel like a lot of commercial enchiladas end up being kind of sloppy and tasteless, but this is so crazy good. Well, our very good friend Max recently went through a bit of a breakup. So the universe wants him to know that there are hoes out there. There are hoes out there that enjoy pumpkin spice lattes, and it is his mission and goal to find them. It's crazy to me, though, specifically, that you never get, like, money over bitches as a fortune. You always get, like, chase hoes fortunes, which is crazy. Hi, Cryptid. Again, I got, like, your live notification, but I got it, like, way late. Yeah, 5 p.m. I'm like, bro, you don't even know. Today, I went out. I was so productive. I did such a good job. I almost overexerted myself, but I was good, and I did not. I'm doing great. Today, I went out. Yeah. Of course, like I said, you always pull the bounty card to the point where I've, like, now associated it with pumpkin spice latte, like, white women. Because initially, I was just like, oh, yeah, pumpkins for fall. But now I'm just like, Max must seek out the white women and date all of them. Crazy. But I went out. And I tended to my chicken coop. I got like a 1/6 of that done today. It was crazy. I wanted to do more, but at the risk of pulling my back again like an ancient 80-year-old woman, I was like, nah, I better not. I'm still crazy behind on all my planting, which I need to get all my sunflowers in the dirt so that I can have my giant sunflower forest so that we can stream there in the spring and or in the summer and the fall. Sunflower. I told him to put on some quarter zips, but he refuses. He said, absolutely not. I'm about these streets. I gotta be careful. If I get too in character, I'm gonna get in trouble again. I can't get too comfortable, okay? I can't get too comfortable. I can't just relax into it, you know what I mean? Too early in the season to hit my Nick Fuentes era. Which, by the way, and this is probably the first and last time I'll say this, I don't think he goes far enough. I think it's a little bit crazy. Everybody thinks, oh, he's so radical. He's so radical. I have to autistically read the TOS, and I'm like, but I wasn't talking about a specific group. Thank God. The autism saves me a lot of legalese. Back in the streets with these hoes, hell yeah. I will say this, I am a big fan of, not necessarily a flannel shirt, but have you guys ever seen the old school Western, like, pearl snap shirts? I fuck with those so hardcore. And not necessarily, but the fact that it's like a snapping work shirt, if it's got like, not like linen quality, because that's a little bit too breathable, but like that mid-weight, older style, like ideally it has triangles on it, because you know how I feel about triangles. But like a mid-weight, snapping, Western style work shirt, which is like super hard to find. They have the flannel pattern on them, but I don't want the flannel pattern. I want like either just a plain or like maybe like ideally like neutrals, like earth tones, right? Because when you're out there, because I was so sweaty when I came back and it was insane. I was out there, I was like, and then hubby comes out there, he's like, okay, bye cow, I gotta go to work. And I was like, oh yeah, like look how much I've done. And he's like, is this a lot? And I'm like, get out. Get out! Because, I mean, listen, when he helped me out, this was ages and ages ago, back before I had, like, kind of optimized out there a little bit. I was, like, in the process of cleaning it out, and he is not a project dude, like, at all. And he goes out there, and he just, like, he's bitching, complaining the entire time, because this is, like, so not his element. He's not a big fan of, like, projects like I enjoy. I love projects, but my flesh is weak. And he is strong, but he is bored as hell out there, not having a good time. And he pitches out, like, the whole coop in, like, less than 4 hours. And he's like, this is what was taking you for... And I'm like, babe, it took me like 2 months to do like a quarter of this, and it's like a circular problem. Like if I don't get this like pitched out, it just like becomes a larger problem and a larger problem, and then like this and that and the third. And I hadn't taken like a reciprocating saw. Is it a reciprocating saw? It's like, it's a big like motor, and then like the saw like slants into the top and like hooks in, and then you can like cut through rebar and stuff like that. I hadn't done that yet, so it was like a cheese maze to like clean it. Anyway, it was a whole thing. And he can do... Men are just amazing sometimes, you know what I mean? Because it's like, you guys have this innate like power to do like 4 times as much as I can do, but like my mind is like, you can do this, bitch. Like, you can just power through it. Just like, you're fine. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, who cares if you're bedridden for like the next week because you pulled your back? What the fuck were you doing? You can make spaghetti from bed. Like, no great loss, right? And he just like can power through something and be like, yep, and then I'm gonna go do other stuff. And I'm like, I'm doing like a fraction of that amount of work. So it's like, realistically, if I was born in a man's body, I think that it would be game over for a lot of people. Because like, the amount of work that I could get done if I had like a strong body to like go and do these things, I mean, I'd be fucking unstoppable. Hide your bitch, hide your drawing plans, because I'm getting both of them, you know. They knew what they were doing, making me a woman, I guess. It's inevitable. Anyway, damn it, I was on time and I yapped over. Fuck, every time. Okay, one sec. We're gonna pop over. I was so proud of myself, too. Oh, no, the widget. See, this is what I'm talking about. Restream was being a whole bitch today. Alright, one sec. Is it gonna show me? No, honestly, like, a strong lesbian, like, you have no idea. And also, what is going on with... Am I, like, bugging out on Twitch or anything? Because I just dropped down to, like, 1,000 frames. Or 1,000 kbps, whatever the hell that is. No, so 2 of, like, my most favorite people on the planet are some very capable lesbians. I used to farm sit for it. They're amazing. 10 out of 10. And they, like, do amazing things. The one girl, I'll have to show you guys in the outside page. So cool. She did, like, a whole, like, barbecue situation. She's so funny. She's like, I have to do this all... Yeah, I know. I have to reset it. Restream was like, ooh, access denied. And I was like, what do you mean access denied? It's my access. No, it's not a box. That is it. Oh, it's gonna make me go to... Okay, sorry, one second. Oh, I guess I don't have to go straight to Restream. I can just take it from here. It generated a new token and everything. What a pain. No, that's not what I wanted. Copy. Properties. Hey, you liking that? You guys liking the ramen thing? Listen, every time I commission something, and this is not a comment on the artist, she's lovely and wonderful, and I will use her for everything I possibly can. She is honestly such a delight. I can't state that enough. But everything takes twice as long and costs 3 times as much. So just in case you guys are ever like, I could be a content creator, real pain in the ass on the back end, let me tell you. Let's see. Is it gonna... Oh, it's gonna make me do it. It's gonna make me redo it. I love that. Okay, sorry, 1 second, you guys. That artist times 2. Okay. Okay. Listen, oh, okay, so it's behaving kind of, so let me, was 5 by 4 was the magic number. door. There we go. Scoot you guys back over here. Just a touch. Okay. Okay, there we go. There we go. We got our chat back, you guys. Now, where's my vertical scenes? Because of course it's going to be dinked up over there too. Verticals. Oh, I see what it is. Nice try. Okay. So this chat is ready to display messages. Yeah. Restream has a silly sense of humor, you guys. Okay. It wants this over here. And now you guys... Oh, no! Whatever that was, go back to where it... Okay. It's cool, you guys. It's not like this is my least favorite part of this whole deal. There we go. Okay. Everybody's good. Everybody's where they're supposed to be. I'm just gonna leave that. Hands off. And everything should be Gucci, I think. And then I'll put Umineko here. Real small. So everybody knows what exactly is going on. Here's the thing, I'm pretty sure I'm good about putting like the watermark of what we're playing on here, and yet everybody asks me what we're playing. Are those bots? Or is that just like, is that a thing people do that I'm just not understanding? Or I mean, it wouldn't be the first time, but so people just ask regardless of if it's oh, okay, they are bots. Okay. Me, oh my god, when androids take over, it's gonna fuck me over so bad, because I'll just be like, what are you talking about? Me shaking a robot? What do you mean, robot? What do you mean? Okay. Enough of that, you guys. Okay, so where last we let off, we cut the cheese. That was a pretty crucial part of last episode, so if you don't know what I'm talking about, that means you didn't watch the last episode, because it was pretty self-explanatory about this cheese business. Yeah, I figure usually there's a language barrier, which I think I already told you guys. Something cool I learned about one of my favorite sweet little cats who's asleep on the bed right now. The word squirrel was used to see if people were spies during the war, because a lot of people pronounce they pronounce it weird, or more so phonetically, and it's just a weird wonky word. So squirrel, you can tell if somebody's not a native English speaker, because they say squirrel. They pronounce all of the vowels, which is crazy. Deaf human. And yet, you know what? For somebody that is like at what I would think the rage bait level of a bot, they sure didn't know how to do clips. And if you're listening to this right now, you can be welcomed back into the cult. You just have to pay your penance and do the clips. And listen, I am nothing if not merciful, okay? But I digress. Okay, so that's just like an extra tab. Alright. I thought it was pretty interesting that this, like, super chill melody right here was Mother. That should be easy for me to remember. Okay. Let's check out the new characters, you guys. Let's check out... oh, it won't show us the characters. We also debated a 9-year-old. That's true, we did. We found out emphatically that Santa Claus is not real, and if that's news to you, you're probably too young to be watching my show. So if you guys are not 18 or over, get the fuck out. You're not welcome here. Chat box is stretching possible. No! Oh, I thought I remedied, but shit. Yeah, right there. Right there's the cutoff. Yeah, right there. Maybe just... Oh, nope. Maybe just a little bit right... There we go. Perfect. Perfect, perfect. Alright. So this is where we left off. I think I backed it up just a teensy tiny bit, though. I backed it up just a little bit, okay? So that we wouldn't miss the next chapter thingy. Because I don't like when it has this thing where, like, there's, like, 1 or 2 lines of unskippable dialogue, and then it's, like, now you're, like, in the middle of a sentence, basically, when you come in. So I figured I'd just roll it back just like a hair. Now that I know how to go forward and backward, which it only took me, like, 6 episodes to figure out how to do that. Guys. Isn't it crazy that he's been murdered at this location at least once? Sound, by the way. Oh, yeah. Good catch. A second. I'm gonna marry those 2 things so that my soundbar is just little. Okay. Once again, it's your responsibility to tell you. You guys have to tell me tech stuff because I am tech retarded. So I will not know and I will not remember to change it if you don't let me know. Now, in the future, when I have 2 monitors, I will also forget to change it, but it'll be more my fault. So, you guys have that to look forward to. And why is my sound, like, super crazy loud on my end? Oh, that's right. I was editing. By the way, if you guys want to see, like, a light little dabbling of my political ideas or whatever, maybe, I put out a reaction to Michelle Obama on Call Her Daddy, so go ahead and enjoy that if you guys want more of my short-form content that's not 6 hours long. Sound is quiet on your end. Did it just become quiet on your end? I don't actually know if my headphones are connected to you guys. Like, do you hear when I'm doing this? Over here. No, it's just been that way. Okay. Weird. It's crazy loud on my end. Would it be effects or music? Which one of these is that? Is it this one? I'm teasing. Yeah. I also made those mug brownies that I showed you guys for Valentine's Day because I figured I deserved a little treat. Guys. It was just, listen, the calibration on this end, bro, you have no idea. It's like, blow your eardrums out loud for some reason. I cannot figure out calibrating these 2 things. And on the back end, when I was doing all of... Because, Kazu, you have everything set to 100% volume, right? Okay. And see, that didn't change the noise level on mine at all. It's just as loud, which is nuts to me. That's... Okay. Yeah, crazy.
随分変わった子だね。最近の若い子とはどうも相性が良くないよ。
ジョージさんだってお若いですよ。
いとこで最年長ということもあってついついいつも自分がもう若くないって気持ちになっちゃって。
Also, if you guys don't know, there is a new emoji. It is the ramen cat. It says, "Who killed them, ramen?" And I've put that in my free tier of emojis because it's so peak. Ooh, a secret tryst.
エリカさんくらいのお年の方が一番自分自身との付き合い方が難しいと思います。
そうだね。子供という殻を打ち破りたくて、あたり構わずくちばしを打ちつけるお年頃だね。それを打ち破れて、ようやく大きく羽ばたくことができる。
George, you're fully 23 talking to a 16-year-old girl right now. I feel like Chris Hansen should jump out and be like, "What are you doing here?"
情けなくひ弱な、まるで尊敬できない男だった。
Like, I feel like this isn't even okay from like a Romeo and Juliet law standpoint, because the age gap is.
自分でも分かってる。かつての僕はいとこの
What
中
is
で
the
最
math on
年
that
長ではあ
actually?
っても、いつもぼんやりしているうだつの上がらない男だったよ。それは何もいとこの中だけの話じゃない。
It's true, yeah. I would love for, and they probably didn't do this because they're not absolutely tweaked, but imagine he's like, "Now Shannon, if anybody asks how old you are, you're gonna say that you're turning 19 and that we've known each other for a couple of years now. And if anybody asks my age, say I just graduated. They don't need to know for what." Like, I would love to get, like, I don't know. Maybe it's just funny to me because in a, like, a dark humor way or whatever, but like the actual scene of him like grooming Shannon, because now I don't pretend to be great at math, but I think it's a 7-year age gap somewhere abouts, right? I think a 6 or 7-year age gap between. Yeah, 7-year age gap. Right, so he'd have to just say, but if he said like, "Oh, I just graduated" or whatever, people wouldn't assume college, right? But he could potentially have a bachelor's in college. There's 18, 19, 20, 21. Yeah, he could have a bachelor's degree. And he's dating a girl that is not done long division before. Listen, I'm doing my best, okay? Funny enough, I can do long division, like, super good, which, this is a thing that always confuses people. They're like, "But Riley, I've seen you do math before," and I'm like, "Yeah, like autism math, not like fucking regular back and forth retard math, like, I can't."
でも
It's very complex, my relationship with math.
この数年のジョージ様は毎年出会うたびに道があるようでした。
ありがとう。
Also, when he met her, super
きっか
problematic.
けがあったんですか？
殻を破る？
はい。あれほどの
Because 6 years ago, she was
を経て
10,
蝶になるかのように
and he would have
目まぐるしく成
been,
長されたジョージ様がただ漫然と日々を過ごしていて、それを迎えられ
and
たと
he
は思
would
い
have
ませ
been
ん。それだけの大きな決意をされる何か
18?
きっかけがあったに違いないと思いまして。
Would she have been 12? I thought she was 16. Or is she a little older? Either way, creepy as hell, right?
君に惚れて愛の力で成長したと僕は今まで言ってきたんだけど。
Oh, even worse, right?
本当
Nah,
は
dude, you totally get a
もっ
mulligan on
と
that.
ネガティブな感情からだったんだ。
そんないつも明るく朗らかでおられるジョージさんに
I think we all
ネガテ
agree
ィブな
that
感情なんて
realistically, George
ち
should be
ょ
in
っと信
prison.
じられないです。
Yeah. Mad creepy.
僕はね、両親に女性は大切にしろと教えられてきたんだ。そしてそれを実践してきたつもりだったよ。
はい。
He says women, but what he means is a child.
本当は違う。
ん？
異性とどう接していけばいいかわからなくて、過度に神格化して恐れて、紳士的なレディーファーストを装いながら。
So this is partially, I think, why he's so interested in a girl that's much younger than him, is because he's a bit socially stunted. Because, like, the idea of talking to a woman is scary, but the idea of talking to someone that's significantly younger is less scary, and he would have more control over it, which is, I think, a behavior that we should be looking out for. The same reason I had one girlfriend that I worked with, that she married a guy that was 40 when she was, like, freshly, I think, 20 or 21 or something like that. So technically it was legally, like, kosher, but it was fucking weird. Like, super weird. And she was like, no, I'm just super mature for my age. I'm like, yeah, that's the most red flag statement you could ever make. Like, that's, like, on the front page of the brochure. Like... Yeah, familiarity breeds attraction, but at the same time, and I would like the record to show, I've been around teenagers for, like, let's see, from when I was 18 till now, that's, like, a decade and a half, and I've been around teenagers before, and especially when I worked in, like, food service and stuff like that, like, younger boys would try and be like, hey, I've always wanted to hook up with a college girl, and I'm like, I'm gonna call your mom. Like, what are you doing? Like, go clean the bathrooms. Like, because you're an adult. And the idea of pursuing a romantic relationship with a child or a teenager is gross. Like, I'm old enough to be these people's mothers. And they don't care, which is like, you know, we could have a conversation. We won't, but... we could have a conversation about, like, what that means developmentally. But as the adult in the situation, it's like, that's yicky. And if you, don't feel that way, somebody should, maybe perchance put you in an asylum. Because that's crazy work. I'm more likely to help them with, like, their science project than I am to give them my number. You feel me?
Lady first と称していつも後ろへ下がる男だよ。そんな後ろ向きな牽引力のない男
I
の
just
背
don't
中
think a
に
lot
つい
of
ていこう
women
なんて
too are interested in people that are younger than them, which kind of mitigates this.
それに気づか
But
ず
there are
自
weirdos.
分
You
は
guys
さ
have
す
seen
が
the
魅
news.
力的な男子に違いないなんて思ってる。
その気持ちちょっぴりわかります。自分が異性に魅力的に見てもらいたくて努力した振る舞いが
I also think it's super weird that Eva is like,
導くとは限りませんから。
here's the thing. I think it's super weird that, like, George's mother's taken the stance of, like, stay away from him, you little tramp, and not... It's incredibly troubling that my adult son is trying to hook up with our, like, underage servant. Like, I'd be sending him to a boarding school. Like, me personally, I guess he's too old for boarding school age. I don't know. I certainly wouldn't be having him around underage girls if this is how he is. Like, start setting up some arranged marriages if he's, like, taking an interest in women and, like... See, there's a conversation to be made for arranged marriages, but, like, within the appropriate age range and scale. You know what I mean? Like, George can do no wrong. Yeah, I mean... I really don't want to hate on Ava, but such a boy mom. Like, such a boy mom thing to do. Like, it's this young harlot's fault that he's, like, pursuing her, and it's just like, no, your son's being low-key a creep. Like, and honestly, not low-key, high-key a creep. Because, like, he's got her off and away, right? He's not out and about that he's like, hey, I have a crush on this young servant or whatever. And the fact that everybody else knows that they've got a thing going on and is not doing or saying anything about it is really creepy to me. Because, like, Cannon's like, oh, you love George, and, like, that's totally cool. And, like, I mean, maybe it's just because he's a 16-year-old and he doesn't understand that, like, this age gap is, like, a huge problem. But, that's nuts. Isn't it crazy? We jump into, like, so many, like heavy topics playing video games. Isn't that funny? Like, I feel like we talked about interracial marriage and stuff like that when we were, interracial marriage and, like, gay rights while we were watching The Last of Us. I feel like maybe I'm taking the wrong things away from these games and visual novels, but at the same time, you know, you have to have opinions if you're gonna lead a cult. You know what I mean? Oh. Oh no. I hate that. See, that's the other thing too. I have a great grandmother that tries to tell me, like, no, Riley, it was like that back then. I'm like, no, it fucking wasn't. I read your memoir. And she's like, no, everyone was doing that back then. I'm like, everyone was not doing that back then. Not even your own anecdotal evidence. Like, you've literally put pen to paper and invalidated your entire claim that this was totally normal. You know what was totally normal back then? You dated people within your own age. And there was that one weirdo, that one weird 40-year-old that was like, I need to marry a 16-year-old. And yeah, it was technically legal, but everybody was kind of like, about that. But there was also during, by the way, if you guys are not, like, familiar with, like, the Great Depression time period and stuff like that, people were selling their children because they were like, well, we've got, like, 8 kids and it's too expensive to feed them. We'll just sell our kid to these people and they'll, like, you know, they'll, like, do farm labor and stuff like that. And it's just, like, very troubling that you're not thinking through, like, the morality of maybe a person that would be interested in, like, purchasing your child. Like, that's crazy. But they're just like, no, they just needed a laborer on their farm. I'm like, yeah, sure. That's definitely the machinations of these people 90% of the time. Sure. Ooh. Yeah, that all of that seems like troublingly low. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I'm a nut. I also think that like teen pregnancy and stuff like that should be criminalized. I think that should carry its own thing because like I don't think that we're going to be able to like solve the extra systemic problems included in that. Yeah, that is super weird. Because here's the thing too. I think there was some study or whatever that it's like it's not like teen plus teen equals like teen baby. It's usually teen plus adult. And I feel like that doesn't get solved. Like even like, I mean, have you guys ever talked to your grandparents, your great grandparents? And, you know, I guess Deaf Human a while back brought up the fact that different races have different like longevity and stuff like that. So maybe that information just isn't as available because those generations are gone. And so then everybody's like, hey, I had a great idea. What if? And it's like, not that idea. Not that idea. That does not a good civilization make. Like maybe after a famine or something like that, and it's like, oh, like our entire culture is going to be erased if we don't. But like, I don't know. Like, it seems like one of those things that we could mitigate with like modern technology, so it makes no difference.
君たちにとっては他愛ない会話だったに違いないよ。でも僕はそれに嫉妬を感じてしまった。
No problem.
ここからの話約束できる?
And also, like, this is why I think it's probably... That's unexpected. And we'll just go back to here. And I think that's why it's good for as a parent to put your child around age appropriate like crushes and stuff like that. Just generally. But also be a parent, monitor your kids.
恥ずかしい失敗の思い出がたくさんあります。
そんなうぬぼれた僕の目を覚ましてくれたのが
Ah, yes, the appropriate cat.
いや
Yes, eat your crunchies, Mr. Kitty. Very good.
どんなきっかけがジョージさんに訪れたんですか?
That's true. This is definitely fatherless activities. Seeking out an older, inappropriate man.
でも何に?
What do you mean? Like...
君とバトラ君がとても楽しそうに話しているのを見て僕は嫉妬した。
私がバトラ様と？
君たちにとっては他愛ない会話だったに違いないよ。でも僕はそれに
Real quick, do you think, speaking of Disney's The Lion King, do you think Disney is responsible for the rise in furries? I think so. Me personally. Because why make hot lions? You know, do we need that? Do we need that as a movie? You know what I mean? Do we need... Is it James Earl Jones that voices Mufasa? Because, like, did we need that? Did we... Space Jam? I don't think it was Space Jam. I think Space Jam is... Yeah, but where's Patient Zero is my question.
約束できる？
もちろんです。
Because we need to know who Patient Zero is so that we can conduct a vaccine for it. You know what I mean?
僕の懺悔さ。でも
Reverse it.
聞いてほしい。今夜は
Like a scourge virus, but for that.
くれた上で君に返事をもらいたいことがあるから。
はい、聞かせてください。
That's crazy. I think that if Walt Disney knew that that's what happened, I think that he would go in a different direction. He doesn't seem like the most, he doesn't seem the most, like, progressive dude to me. This is actually, funny enough, this is more problematic than Romeo and Juliet, because Romeo and Juliet, I think she was 16 and he was 18. This is like a larger gap than even that.
I don't
know, it just doesn't seem like he'd be like team that. You know what I mean? Like if he knew the consequences, if he knew like what he would have wrought, I think that he would have been like, scrap it. We're doing Princess and the Frog instead. And that's Walt Disney. You know what I mean?
僕は昔からバトラ君もジェシカちゃんも礼儀に欠けた子だと思ってたよ。いや、もっとダイレクトに言おう。言葉遣いの下品な子たちだなとさえ思っていたよ。本当さ。
Oh my gosh.
軽蔑してくれたり。
しません。人は何を胸中に思おうと許されます。
Oh, I hate when you do that. You should be. It's your little guy. It's your little pal. No, I think that Disney would have maybe had some other comments on the Princess and the Frog. Maybe not so much about the frogs, if you catch my drift. I feel like Disney would have been like, what? Asians? Absolutely not.
むしろ態度に出さなかったジョージさんは立派です。
This is so wild. He's talking about Jessica and Butler like they're such children. I look down on these two children, but not you, Shannon. Someone that's 2 years younger than them. Definitely not you, Shannon. Yo, George is a predator. I'm not gonna lie, it does make it easier to, like, not be bummed when George perishes, when, like, it saves him from committing a crime, you know?
下品で低俗な言葉遣いばかりしているバトラ君やジェシカちゃんなんか絶対に彼女や彼氏ができたりするもんかと思っていたよ。それがいつまで経っても彼女ができない自分への精神安定剤だったのかもしれない。とんでもない。彼らは僕に劣ってなんかいない。むしろ異性を勝手に神格化してレディーファーストと称して恐れて避ける僕の方がよっぽど劣っていた。
バトラもジェシカも昔からああいう性分。
I like that the game is not addressing that at all. It's like, anyway, business as usual. Crazy.
しかし男女を分け隔てなく交流できる力があった。いや、
I don't think it would have changed the story at all for her to be like a little bit older. Also.
お兄ちゃんやジェシカお姉ちゃんみたいなタイプの人って。
Now, granted, I don't know that for a fact yet, but I suspect that that's the case.
ジョージお兄ちゃんには悪いけど、
あまり紳士を振りかざしすぎる人ってちょっと気持ち悪いわ。女に幻想を持ちすぎ
Oh
って
my
いうか
gosh, is George canon as wearing a
人
fedora?
は無縁である
When
な
were
ら
fedoras popular?
相手が無害で退屈な人間であることを尊ぶ。しかしそれは邪魔にならないという意味で好まれているだけだ。退屈な人間を身近にしたいと願う人間などいるわけもない。
当然よ。動かず物も言わぬ電信柱と友達になろうというバカはいないわ。でも動かず物を言わないのは電信柱としては優秀だわ。
そういうことだ。ジョージはつまりいくら自分が優秀であっても魅力ある人間として認められていない。
1882, so he could have
た
worn
だ
a
の電
fedora.
信柱扱いであることにようやく気づいたというわけだ。
僕は当
That's
時
not what I want.
うぬぼれの真っ盛りだった。だから親族会議でみんなで集まっている時、一番魅力的なのは僕で、それに混じって遊んでくれた使用人の女の子はみんな僕に惚れていると信じていたよ。それがあの日、僕はそこでようやく自分がどれほどみすぼらしかったかを思い知ったのさ。
私が当時何か心ないことを言ってしまったのでしょうか。
いいや、逆さ。君は何も言わなかった。君の瞳に映って
Yeah,
い
this
る
is
のは
crazy.
常に僕だといううぬぼれが打ち砕かれたのさ。
Oh, I see that once again, the app that I use to do all of these,
唐突に気づいたんだ。
all of my notes on has
君たちが
updated.
バトラ君や
favorite.
ジェシカちゃんと僕なんかよりはるかによく馴染んで楽しそうに遊んでいることに。
Listen, George should be arrested, but not necessarily because I think he's the culprit.
気色悪い話さ。僕は君を勝手に僕に好意を持ってると決めつけ、ひょっとしたら異性の付き合いになってもいいかななんて青臭い白昼夢を許したことさえあるんだ。それを勝手に恋人を奪われた気持ちになって勝手に傷ついて、どこまでも僕はダメな男だ。
I was such a pathetic adult man.
ようやく僕は自分の愚かさに気づけたんだ。
ジ
Crazy.
ョージ様、
George confirmed is not being allowed to
そ
go
の後
to a
バトラ君はいろ
a
いろあっ
public
て
park.
親族会議に来なくなったけど、
We pushed him out of the
ル
plane.
ドル
Yes,
フおじさん
absolutely.
から
What is what's that insult phrase? It's like something
おじさんも
something the lady.
可愛い人だね。
I
バト
can't
ラ君と
remember.
あんなにいつも
It's like
喧嘩を
early
しているのに
2000s humor.
バトラ
Escaping
君
me
の
at the
近
moment.
況を常に気にかけていた。
Can't remember the name, you guys.
私も聞かせてもらったことがあります。アスム様も呆れておられましたっけ。学校では大層女性に人気でトラブルが絶えないのはきっとルドルフ様の血のせいに違いないと。
そしてジェシカちゃんも男女の友達を大勢作っていつもその中心で活躍していると聞いていたし、実際ジェシカちゃんと話してもそれは何の誇張でもないと理解できたよ。最初はね、バトラ君たちを真似ようと思ったんだ。滑稽な話さ。ふざけたりはしゃいだり下品な会話を好めば彼らのような魅力が得られると思い込んだ。
ジョージ様がですか。ちょっと想像できません。
痛々しかったよ。僕もあの頃のことは生涯思い出したくない。そしてそんなことを真似ても真の魅力は宿らないとすぐに気づいたよ。僕に魅力がないのは人を大事にすると称したり、場の雰囲気に合わせて振る舞えると称したりして、いつも一歩逃げている自分の臆病さにあったんだ。僕はそれを克服するために生まれ変わる決意をしたよ。初めて自分の殻というものを理解し、 それを打ち破ろうと誓ったんだ。
By continuing to date a
その意志が
16-year-old
くじけそうになるために
peak.
あの日のことを
Oh
思
my
い出して
god.
バネにした。君たちが僕を忘れて楽しそうに遊んでいたあの
Yo,
日
Kaza dipped because we're about to uncover another crime.
僕に好意があると決めつけている君の瞳に僕が
Kaza says I can't be. Kaza said I can't be involved in this.
誓ったんだよ。今度こそ本当に君を振り向かせてその
Oh
人
my
に
god, he's like, I decided right then and there to groom her.
それが実は君に恋をした
Listen, you can be a creep and have character flaws. Those two things aren't exclusive.
複雑だったんですね。
あの日僕を無視して遊んでいた君たち、いや君への復讐がいつの間にか本当の恋心に変わっていったんだ。しかし神に誓うよ。それが君の
And
こと
I
を
would like
真
to
剣
point
に
out
考
there
え
are
出した
plenty of
きっかけ
people
と
that
し
are
て
insecure that don't commit crimes. You know what I mean? Like, there are plenty of people that are terrified to talk to girls, but their solution isn't talk to children. You know what I
君を
mean?
生涯愛することを誓う。それは誰にも何にも偽らない。そして君を妻として迎えるために僕には
The entire world, including the police.
いとわない覚悟がある。
ジョージさん。
以上が
See, listen, that's my favorite part about shows and stuff like that is one, it hasn't shown us anything like outright, like overtly crazy. Like we didn't have to see like these two like in bed together or whatever to get across the idea that like their relationship is not great. And two, people don't have to be perfect to be in a movie or show. Like, at no point is this thing like, George is the best. It's like, everybody in this is like, flawed as a person. I mean, you think, recently had a guy in my jail who's a known incel. Yeah, of course. There's ways to deal with things, and this is not it. Wait, that's kind of a long one. Is there a rule saying that people can't get together because they weren't each other's first love? Is it betrayal to forget the person you first fell in love with? Love isn't that simple. Well, it might be that simple. Also, do you know how many teenage girls that I knew that had, like, crushes every 5 minutes? You know what I mean? And it's like, yeah, sometimes you think your friend's dad is hot, but, like, you don't pursue that. That's a crime. Like, you just have, like, a childly crush. And George heard at one point, presumably, Shannon had a crush on him, and he was like, my plan is going to perfection. And it's just like, no, George, you're an adult. You're supposed to be like, haha, that's cute. Like, maybe I, like, you know, say something cheeky to her here and there, like, because you don't want to, like, crush a child's dreams. But at the same time, you're an adult, so you're not going to be like, yeah, let's see where this goes. Like, cause, like, be for real. I don't know. After all, love is easy. Things in the past or how our relationships aren't important at all. I've also been in the unique situation to watch an adult woman groom a young man as well, but, like, the craziest thing is, usually, the other direction, so, like, the girl that I knew, she was in her 20s, she was in her, like, late 20s, and she got with a guy that had, like, just turned 18, and, that was, just as creepy, because, like, if that guy had naturally pursued her, there wouldn't have really been a problem, but the fact that she was, like, she did this crazy thing where she was like, oh, this is my coworker, and I'm like, okay, cool. Why are you inviting our coworker to brunch? Like, why are you inviting your coworker to our, like, friend's brunch? Like, whatever, though, I guess. And then she's like, oh, this is my roommate, and I'm like, okay, so you moved, like, a freshly 18-year-old into your house, like, suspicious, but, like, maybe it's, like, a matronly situation where she's like, you know, this guy has, like, a bad life or something like that, and she's trying to give him more structure, and she just, like, happens to have the availability to do so. Whatever, that's not too big. And then, like, a couple months later, she's like, hey, I'm engaged to be married. And we're like, oh, that's crazy. We didn't know you were dating anyone. Like, that's wild. Like, you know, we had no idea that you were trying to date anyone. Who's the guy? And she's like, it's this dude. And we're like, huh, so you just randomly out of the blue got engaged to this dude, huh? And she's just like, yep, that's my boyfriend. And now my fiance. And we're just like, huh. But we're like, what the fuck is this? Like, and then she's just like, oh, come to my wedding. And I'm like, huh. Like, it very much seems to me that, like, you decided that you wanted to be married and have kids, and instead of, like, pursuing a relationship with another adult, you were just like, what if I groomed a teenager and then just, like, made them do all the things that I wanted to do because I'm the older person in the relationship and I have, like, more power. And it's just like, I kind of feel like those things should be, like, mutual decisions, maybe, but very much rubbed me the wrong way. Because, like, shoe on the other foot, I've seen so many times where it's, like, an older guy that's like, no, she's, like, super cool and mature for her age. And you're like, this guy, we gotta cut him out of the group like a tumor. Because he hasn't technically committed a crime. This person's a legal adult. But, like, you can tell, like, the reason he's doing these things is because he, can do these things. You know what I mean? I feel like this particular... No, it's honestly, sure. But it never comes up. I get, like, so little commentary on the Date Everything stream, but then all of this just comes rushing to the front of my head when we get a Umineko. It's a curse, you guys. It really is.
嬉しくなりました。
ありがとう。僕は君がいたから僕になれた。
私もジョージさんがいるから私でいるのです。だから包み隠さず教えてください。私たちはどんな夫婦になって。
Well, we're gonna be on the run for a little bit. We're gonna have to sign an apartment. We're gonna have to sign an apartment in fake names, but it'll be fine, because I'll be rich. It also just goes to show, if George wasn't, like, insanely wealthy, like, he'd be arrested. As he should. Because, like, you guys remember when one of the Kardashians was 16 dating a 26-year-old and how nobody got arrested there? Like, they're just, like, completely different rules for completely different classes of people, and, it's giving two-tier justice system, but... Listen, I might be crap at math, but my memory is excellent.
夫婦でしか気づけないものもたくさん積み上げていきたい。
それはどんなものですか？
子供を作ろう。
Well, of course, that's his primary goal here.
最低3人は作りたい。
Oh my gosh, you guys! By the time she's done having their second kid, she'll be a legal adult.
3人とも男の子だったら
？Crazy.
次こそ女の子かもね。4人目を作ろう。何人いてもいい。子育てという冒険も2人で楽しもう。そしてやがては巣立った子供たちが孫を連れて帰ってくる。気づけば僕たちは大勢の子供と孫に囲まれた賑やかな老後を迎えてるだろうね。
楽しそうです。ジョージさん。どんなおじいちゃんになってるんですか？
Crazy like kids though. It's in his blood.
君こそどんなおばあちゃんになってるんだろうね。でも
she'll be a young grandma is what she'll be.
変わらず愛し続けるよ。そして大勢の家族に見守られながら王女をできたら僕たちの人生は誰にも負けないものとして描き切られる。
Crazy.
さよ。
はい。
結婚しよ
う。はい。
この指輪をどうかその指に通してほしい。
George, you could never survive the American justice system.
ジョージさん。
Shannon, you're a victim. I would love to see a secret plotline where Shannon's actually a murderer. That would be pretty cool. I just don't think she has it in her. Like, a heel-turn Shannon would be so deliciously interesting to me. Just his parents, that's all he's worried about. My parents might criticize this relationship. Dog, what about the police?
もし母さんが君との結婚を許さないと言い出すなら、僕は自ら感動を申し出て君と家を出るつもりだよ。
Oh, perfect. He'll be
僕に
poor.
はその覚悟がとっくにあるんだ。僕たち
Ah,
の未来
yes.
を
A
阻む
poor
全ての
criminal.
運命に、
The perfect match.
僕は毅然と立ち向かうことを
Hi, Rents.
もう一
Are you
度誓
sure
う
you don't want to be snuggled?
私も私とジョージさんの未来を阻もうとする運命に毅然と立ち向かうことを誓います。
バトラさん、いつ事件が始まるんです？
Yes, thank you.
もう
The one time I agree with this
お
rat.
腹いっぱい
Okay.
なん
The
ですけど。
second time I agree with this rat.
黙って見てよ。
The cloak looks so good on him, you
はい
guys.
はい。私があくびでもした隙に何かとんでもない伏線を通過されたらたまりませんから。
お前には愛はないのか。
愛が証拠として受理されるミステリーってあるんですか？ありませんから。一応理解はしてますとも。愛が殺人の動機程度にはなりうることくらい。一応この東屋での出来事は2人の婚約に障害が生じた場合、犯行の動機となりうる程度には解釈しとこうと
I
思い
think
ます。
I've already mentioned that. Like, I could see Shannon, like,
赤くない言葉でいくら愛を
like
ささやく
killing
ことも
Ava or something like that to be like, she tried to keep us apart, you know?
かわいそうにな。
But it doesn't make sense why Hideyoshi would be murdered because Hideyoshi doesn't seem to care.
人も
He
愛せない
seems like cool either way with it.
くだらない恋愛トークはやめてください。私はあんたの敵であって恋の話に付き合う酔狂な友人ではありませんから。
I like that. Don't talk to me like we're
私は
friends.
今のあんたがさっぱりわかりません。一体あんたは何を悟ったってんです？あんたとベアとは罵り合い殺し合う関係だったはず。そのあんたが何の真相に至って
Clearly,
ベアと
Erica
に
is
対
not
する
old
感
enough,
情を変えた
obviously,
んですか？
to have ever been in a toxic relationship.
殺し合うライバル関
They
係
just
から
fight all the
恋愛
time.
感情が芽生えたとかバカなこと
No,
言い
you
出さ
don't
ない
like
で
the
すよ
cloak?
ね。
エリカ
The
卿
cloak is dope.
ゲームの進行を続けさせましょう。退屈な恋愛シーンなどとっとと終わらせるに限ります。
Honestly, the cloak is kind of overshadowing the jacket, though. You're right, but
口を
the
挟ん
cloak
で
is
失礼
key.
ささどうぞ続きを。
シャノンです。戻りました。
うん。今日の日誌はまだだな。
はい。すぐに提出します。カノン君、留守番をありがとう。
長い休み時間だったね。
では、私は先に休む。
Yeah, Genji is confirmed day shift employee.
源氏様。
This is the direction I'm supposed to spin them.
時間をくれてありがとう。あとは私が控えてるから、カノン君ももう休んでもいいよ。
今度は僕の手番ってことだね。
Ah, yes. Now time for the age-appropriate ship.
私たちは負けないよ。
僕だって負けるものか。
今日まで臆病でお嬢様にリードしてもらわなければ何もできなかった君が
姉さんが教えてくれたはずだよ。
何を教えたかな。
Induce management, of course, is the day
昔
shift.
も過去も関係な
Listen,
い。
the day shift, and I'll say this because I don't think it gets said enough, day shift has the easier job. Day shift has the easier job. The night shift always has to do... Now, I'm not saying they have the same hour-to-hour volume, but usually they have more volume with less people, and they have to close everything down. Opening is easy. Closing is hard, and everybody wants to do this day shift supremacy bullshit, and I'm here to tell you it's a cope. They think that their job is so much harder, but they have twice as many people, which just to me says that you aren't as competent as the night shift, who is definitely getting paid less to do more. And I'll die on that hill, or somebody will.
もしそれが本当なら、僕の今は
I've really been liking the rope twists.
何も負けてるなんて思わない。
Having all my hair just loose is so overstimulating. I mean, having 10,000 snakes just like all touching like my neck and ears and too much.
もしも結ばれるなら、私たちが心の底から祝福できるくらいに素敵な関係になって。
Now, I do think the day shift has an important job because I think everything, for the most part, should be 24 hours. But day shift gets glazed so much. Exactly.
それが僕の
And I don't think I've ever seen day shift clean a fucking thing. Like, not one time, in fact. It's like the night shift gets, like, sink full of dishes, you know, like, the floor hasn't been, like, properly swept or mopped, and they're just like, do all this regular work business, but also all of this, like, deep cleaning that we've been, like, fucking off for like, months and months. Such crap.
私たちの手元にある唯一の魔法。
And I've worked both, but the day shift was the worst. You guys can't tell because of the way that I'm sitting, but I have my clips. I've started to, when we do Umineko, I've been putting like my little golden hair clips in like a little butterfly on the back of my head just to get in the zone. Exactly. Keep them alive till 7:05 base.
少し照れるな。
I've actually passed the day shift before. I've had such a late shift. And the day shift almost always gets relieved like on time. The night shift is almost, I mean, the night shift, there's no one coming to save you. You know what I mean?
カノンが踏みつぶして以来、どこへ紛失したかと思っていたら、まだ持っていたのか。
Hey, baby. Hi. Guys, speaking of, look at how handsome my cat is. Look at how great he is. He looks so good. He has like a perfect body conformation. Look at that. Look at that. Peak. Yes. Such a good boy. I'm so proud of you. You're such a healthy boy. Yeah. This, like, feeding him crunchies all day long business is a huge pain because I have to keep all the other cats out of his crunchies, but he has been benefiting so much from it. Now I just have to obsessively make sure that he has proper hydration, which is, like, impossible for cats, especially orange boys. Boy cats, you have to make sure they're hydrated because they can develop urinary problems. Oh, that's my pretty ocelot. You're such a good boy. No, absolutely. Although I will say this, for like 15 years worth of working, because I started working when I was about 15, which is nuts. I have been on time 80% of that 15 years, and so now I'm just like, you know what? You could die tomorrow. I'm showing up when it's appropriate and safe to show up to work. because I've had so many people, like, not show up to work on time, and I know it pisses my coworkers off and they hate it, but, like, I will also cover your shift, like, with almost no notice, so I feel like the trade-off there is comparable, you know what I mean? And I also don't mind working super hard, too, so I'm not gonna be like, oh, my fucking coworkers didn't do anything. It's like, as long as I can throw on a podcast and do all the work that hasn't been done, like, pretty easy peasy, like, pretty easy going, you know what I mean? I mean, realistically, this is probably the easiest job I've had in the last, like, decade or so, aside from dancing. Dancing was easy as hell, but there was, like, more bullshit to deal with because my coworkers were massively incompetent. And, I mean, you know, everything has its perks. This whole double Beatrice thing is super confusing to me. I like long-haired Beatrice's, like, character model the best. And just so you guys know, on the next chapter, we're going to take a short, like, 5-10 minute break. So just so you guys can prepare for, like a snack, drink, what have you break. Purple lightning.
Hi? その鎮守の社は悪食島の悪霊を封じるために旅の修験者が建立した。そうでしたね。
そうでございます。
I also plan to have a shrine at my house. I like the idea of having like a visual representation of paying your respects to the fallen. I think that's really sick. I like that they have that in Asian cultures, and I think that that would be something that I absolutely want to incorporate into my daily life, you know what I mean? Like, just like a place of spiritual reverence, I think that's pretty cool.
霊境の神通力が。
なるほど。東洋の悪霊も西洋の魔女も OK の便利な霊境だったからというわけですか。わかりました。すっきりはしませんが、そこは折れることにしましょう。しかし、どうしてベアトリーチェが雲の巣も嫌うのかわかりません。
I mean, does anybody like spider webs? I don't like dusting them because then they get on the duster and then you have to clean the duster and then like maybe they touch you a little bit and they're just like sticky and nah.
Shikashi, それ悪食島伝説の話です。そもそもベアトリーチェの魔女伝説の発祥はこの島に引っ越してきた後宮金蔵がミステリアスな黄金伝説とそれを授けた魔女という名の愛人を吹聴してから始まったものです。つまり悪食島の悪霊と
Although, just a little bit of lore for you guys, did I ever tell you that I used to have a spider? We ended up, we lived next to this giant field, back in the hood, and it was, I found this, like, ginormous spider, like huge spider, and I put her in this beautiful terrarium, and we would feed her, like, all of the insects that got trapped in our house, and it was really sick, really cool, because then we didn't have to use, like, sprays and pesticides and stuff like that. We were just like, oh, great spider, dispose of this nasty moth. You know what I mean? Pretty awesome. Highly recommend. And that's how I learned that if you're gonna have like a bug terrarium like that, you should use like a cork lid so that it gets proper air circulation, but then you don't have to worry about a spooky bug escaping into your house. I didn't get nearly enough photos of that. Is definitely something I will be doing in the future, though. I'm gonna have a lot of spooky stuff going on in my house, you guys.
サソリの魔法陣が描かれていて、それは西洋魔術では魔除けを意味する。だから西洋魔術
20 minutes is crazy. Yeah, being like 20 minutes late to a shift, like, but like 5 minutes. If it's 5 minutes, like, get out of here. You know what I mean? No, actually, I think that my roommate got the spider in the divorce. I'm pretty sure. No, cork is so cork. You can transfer air. You know what I mean? Cork is that's why wine bottles and stuff like that don't explode. Cork lid for spider. Yeah, they make all kind terrarium cork lid. So, it is a snug fit that keeps humidity consistent and allows breathable exchange. Yo, get out of here. But she got really big. I mean, she was pretty big to begin with, but she's a big gal. I've had a couple of different spiders, actually.
私の知る限りでも西洋魔女の苦手なものに雲の巣があったという記憶はありません。
Guaranteed in the future we're gonna have all kinds of like wacky like little critters.
思うに悪事木島伝説の悪霊と魔女伝説のベアトリーチェ。
I mean, I almost had a lizard yesterday. It did bite me though. I'll have to put that in the outside chat for you guys. We get a lot of really cool fence lizards here, and if they're boy lizards, their tummy is this really pretty iridescent blue.
しかし、悪事木島に住まう悪霊なるものには具体的なビジュアルイメージが伴っていませんでした。人なのか、怪物なのか、はたまた足のない幽霊なのか、さっぱりイメージがありません。人はビジュアルを伴わない空想を苦手とします。そこにベアトリーチェという魔女の伝説が登場した。悪霊よりは魔女の方が想像しやすい存在です。しかもその上、金蔵さんはベアトリーチェの肖像画を
Guys, I can't wait to be a regional witch of legends.
悪事木島伝説の一番の弱点。たたる悪霊のビジュアルイメージが初めて保管され
Just
たわ
fully
け
gray,
です。
giving out fortunes.
そこからいつの間にか2つの伝説が混じり合っていってしまったのではないでしょうか。
どうでございましょうね。
Like Kumasawa level, like silver hair. You know what I mean? But like, but like Virgilia style, except for those like whack ass bangs. I don't think I could pull off a Hime cut. I have considered it though. I have considered it.
If もし黄金の魔女ベアトリーチェを自称する人物がいたとして、彼女が本当に蜘蛛の巣を嫌うのかどうか、ぜひ聞いてみたいものです。触れるとどうなるんでしたっけ？
魔女の眷属は蜘蛛の巣に触れるとやけどを負うそうですから、多分そうなるんじゃないかと。
Touch Kumasawa with spider webs right now.
見事な魔女裁判です。蜘蛛の巣に触れてやけどするならば、それは悪霊の方であって魔女ではない。そして触れても何も起こらないのであれば、ただの人間であることの証。つまりやけどしようがしなかろうが、黄金の魔女など存在しないという証になります。
I thought iron burned. Oh, no, that's fairies.
悪事木島伝説が装いを変えただけの焼き直しに過ぎないのです。ただ伝説がそこにあるだけで、 フルドエリカはこの程度の推理が可能です。いかがです、皆様方？クモの巣ですか？触れるとやけどを？平気です。
平気なのか？
え？
I think I've told you guys this before, but when I was in biochemistry, I had an entomologist with a specialization of bees, but that's not important. And she was my professor, and she was a real bitch. She didn't really care for me at all because I was... Listen, when somebody tells you that they have a task for you and you ask for specificity of that task so that you can perform it to the best of your abilities, and then they give you this, like, they kind of like flip you shit for it, that's not necessarily a good sign when you've paid them to teach you something. So we really butted heads for that specific reason. And she gave me like one of the hardest projects that basically I had to do alone because she didn't really enjoy me. Everybody else was in a group project, but she was like, no, Riley, you'll be performing the entirety of this thesis by yourself. And I was like, fine, I guess I'll do a study on venomous spiders. And she's like, where are you gonna find venomous spiders? I'm like, how about you don't fucking worry about that, lady? How about I just perform this? Does this fit within the parameters of your weird little test? And she's like, yeah, but I doubt you'll be able to do that in the time allotted. And I'm like, why don't you let me worry about that? Like, as long as this fits the parameters, that'll be fine. And mostly I just did this to kind of flex on her a little bit that I could, in fact, procure a large amount of venomous spiders in a very short amount of time. And so when I showed up to class with, like, no less than 50 preserved venomous spiders, I was like, you're gonna need to give me more sample jars, lady. And she's like, I don't have that many sample jars, and I doubt you'll find that many spiders. And I was like, okay, well, I actually kind of had to double up some of these venomous spiders in here, which was incredibly dangerous. And if I'd been bitten, I'd be charging you for the bill. And she's like, how'd you find all these spiders? I'm like, don't worry about it. And then it's just me and like a comically large space between me and the other students because they were afraid that the spiders were still drawing breath. And I'm sitting there and I'm just in this microscope just performing calculations on these venomous spiders, and she's sitting at her desk seething, absolutely seething, because I'd like completed the first task of this like bullshit test that she'd contrived to like see if I'd fail, I guess, which I'm like, lady, I feel like you've forgotten like the fundamental part of this, which is that I'm paying you to teach me, which is like part one of when I figured out that the particular section of college that I was attending was a scam. Interesting. That'd be pretty sick. Like a natural spiderweb burn tattoo would be kind of dope. Because she's not a witch. Wait a minute. So, and follow me along this journey, if you will. Does that mean that Beatrice cannot occupy a room that has not been recently cleaned? Because absolutely guaranteed there would be spiders in there. Especially a mansion this large, it would be riddled with spiders. Like, so many spiders. Like, the most spiders you've ever seen. Especially in the boiler room. Like, any place that's, like, mildly, like, humid and dank and dark, thousands of spiders. You and me and me and you and me and your spider, Steve. No, absolutely. Just us and my spiders, Steve. I would never own a tarantula, though, because that's, like, far too large of a spider. Like, I don't want to be surprised by a spider, but at the same time, I don't want to feel like... I don't want a spider that could put my whole finger in its mouth, so you know what I mean? Like, that's a little too much. I like my spiders like about quarter size. Like that's probably the maximum size of a spider. An orb weaver is pushing it, although orb weavers are super pretty. I love a good orb weaver. Really? I would say like about 15% of the animals that I've owned is just me getting over a fear of them. That's why I own a snake. Technically, my snake is being fostered right now by my aunt because we have like on occasion we have like power outages up here. If that happened during the winter, my snake, I'm not brave enough to sleep with my snake to keep it warm, because he would bite me. He is a little bit of a diva, but, you know, the future office might have a snake in the background. They're a decently long-lived critter. My last snake lived to be like, I think 35, which is nuts. It's like the oldest snake I've ever heard of. And that's like a little rosy boa. It's an incredibly long-lived little critter. And if you don't like bugs and you have the available space, highly recommend getting a chicken because guess what they love to eat? Bugs. And also fish. I have not seen a single earwig since I got chickens. They just nom 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 nom. They eat that shit up like potato chips. They also really like eating mosquitoes. So every couple of days I empty out my bug zapper and they just feast. They love it. Bug protein, 10 out of 10 for chickens. We also used to have a decent problem with grasshoppers, and not no more. Yeah, luckily we only have 2 types of venomous spiders in Idaho, so I don't have to worry that much. Like, there are a total of 5 venomous creatures in the entirety of the state. So that's pretty easy for me to remember. I could not live in the South. I would fundamentally, I'd go to grab something and immediately perish because I'd be like, oh fuck. But we have wolverines up here though, so like we have more dangerous terrestrial mammals than insects and reptiles, which is a lot easier for me to like conceptualize and be aware of. Like we have cougars here and not the kind you find at 3 a.m. at the bar. Oh, nice. Nice. Oh, also speaking of, guys, if you guys are up on the bird flock lore, Yams has been spotted, so I will try and get you guys some Yams footage the moment I see him again. Hopefully he sticks around during watermelon season. I love feeding Yams watermelon. Oh my god, is she gonna try and absorb her clone? Ooh, spicy. Alright. One sec, you guys. So I will return in just a quick moment, but I want you guys to tell me what you would do if you had a clone. PG answers only. Oh, nice. So you double up with your clone? Excellent. I feel like I would switch off with my clone. Like, we would do the same things, but in different, I don't know how I keep bumping this. Also, whose idea was it to, like, make laptops come up at, like, a little triangle? Like, why is my laptop not, like, flat? You know what I mean? Crazy. Crazy design choices. Oh, speaking of, my homie the other day was telling me about a fully customizable laptop, and it is called Framework. So you can like switch out components and stuff like that. Thought that was pretty interesting. Maybe that's going to be a future work computer. Who knows? Okay. Back at it. Womp. I think if you had a clone, here's the thing. If I had a male clone, I would get so much more done, but I feel like very quickly the male clone would get pissed off at me and tired. Because I'd be like, yes, lift this thing, go do this thing. And I'd be like, yeah, and very quickly the male version of me would be like, what exactly are you contributing? And I'd be like, good point. But realistically, guys, which would you pick? Would you rather have a perfect clone of yourself or super speed? I say perfect clone, but no runts, no crunchies for you. No crunchies and no drawer.
Yeah, you ran by, saw that little bit on the floor and ate it, and then you kept on and
Aw, look, it's your guy. He's like, I haven't seen you all day. It's snuggle time now. He's gonna get you. Super speed? Super speed'd be pretty good. I feel like even if I had super speed, I feel like I'd still be just as clumsy, so I'd just be super breaking my fucking ankles.
Yeah. それこそが我々たちのあるべき正しい姿に違いない。
And then they touch hands and then just melt into each other. Oh my gosh. Hey, at least I paused just about into the next chapter. I didn't know how close I was to the next chapter, but I was pretty close. Oh. Yeah, what's this? I feel like it's Battler. I feel like it's Battler that we're seeing in this instance. I could be wrong, though. Like a young Battler. Let me out. Let me out. This is not a dance. Also, big fan of stained glass. I feel like we're gonna have that in the future digs. Stained glass, hand painted lucky cats as all of the cats. L-shaped desk for Chunk Boy Runts to lounge upon. So is this, I wonder, is this the hallway that Jessica's room is on, or Natsui's? Like, I wonder what level this is on. So am I to assume that this, so there is no lock on this chain. It's a closed loop chain. But surely you could put enough tension on these links for them to snap. Also, because this series goes from like normal detective mystery to like survival horror in moments, I found myself a lot of the time playing Date Everything and being like, oh my gosh, what if this turned into like there's a creepy entity in the house like chasing me? I'm like, ooh, that game would be pretty cool. If anybody knows of a game like that, let me know immediately. See, there's a broken chain right there. Right there, I bet you could break. Date the creepy entity. I'd play it. I've already seen some gameplay of the like dating game where you're dating like a slim thick Cthulhu. So not that one probably. I feel like that would that wouldn't be as entertaining because I've seen a lot of that. I did get Raptor Boyfriend though, because that was on sale the other day. So I'll be doing a playthrough of that eventually, just because, like, I think it's silly. Oh, is this an abstract of, like, how did we close the loop with the chain? Oh my gosh. Rose's trapped in a room boyfriend. Like, you thought you could escape from me. Guys, turns out Rosa was the witch all along, and she had kidnapped her boyfriend and brought him to the summit with her. You're not gonna trick me, it's power. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Unoriginal. Yet good. But low-key though, why choose? You know what I mean? Everybody knows a triangle is the most powerful shape. Really? Nah, squares are lame. Oh, of course. It's not going to explain that abstraction at all. Okay.
やっぱりジョージの兄貴が持ってたか。憎い。
Hey, my
スペ
sweet.
ードの6が憎い。
バートラのダイヤの8もエグかったぜ。
Hi, Mr.
もう
Kitty.
悔しい。ジョージお兄ちゃんすごい。また勝った。
そうだよ。また僕たちの勝ちだね。
I want to know what the deal is with that spooky room. I feel like it's really daring to leave here. Oh. Interesting. Why would Cannon be in here? Interesting. This is... I don't think we've seen Cannon really interact much with the cousins.
惜しかった惜しかったでも楽しいぜ本気で戦うのはね
本気だろうとそうでなかろうと結果が負けでは何の意味も
とんでもない本気で戦った結果の負けならすがすがしいもんだぜいい加減に戦っての負けじゃ本気出してたら勝ってたうんぬんで未練タラタラでしょ
そうだな
Hexagons are fine, I guess, but like the triangle is peak.
結果に関わらず爽やかなもんさ
そうだね。そしてそういう人間が一番怖いのさ。そこから必ず何かを学び成長するからね。
確かに僕は臆病だから何も学ばなかっただから未だに
Oh yeah, I fucks with Jujutsu Kaisen pretty hard. Now, don't spoil anything. I haven't finished season 3, okay? Listen, let's say the last episode I got to was the one where Maki went home. Not to spoil anything. Oh, you're so handsome. Do you have a good day today, Mr. Kitty? I bet you did.
西とか書いたり忙しかったんだろ付き合ってくれて本当にサンキューだぜ
Yuta's crazy OP.
僕も楽しかったです
Just such a broken character.
これが楽しいことなんだって
Listen, and I think a lot of people are like, oh, Yuta's creepy, and I'm like, I don't know. I feel like Yuta, if he had a modern mullet, completely different reaction to that character. You know what I mean? Yuta with the like, is it Eren Yeager? Is that the one? Hold on. Is that the one I'm thinking of? Ooh, what character is that? Yeah, Eren Yeager. If Yuta had the Eren Yeager hairstyle, smash. With this, okay, with the sole exception of Gojo, of course. Okay, here's the other thing too, guys. If you guys have read my novel, in book like, there's a little bit in book 1, but in book 2, I hadn't watched Jujutsu Kaisen yet when I had written that book. I was still watching Nana. I was finishing up that series and jumping into the manga of it. I accidentally created a Gojo character. Like, not his personality or anything, but just like white hair, blue eyes, because I was like, ooh. Yeah, I wrote a vampire romantasy. It's decently spicy. And then I also wrote... Oh, my bag is on the back of the chair. One sec, you guys. Then, while I was waiting for the illustrator to finish the cover for that, I also wrote a contemporary fiction. This contemporary fiction is about musicians and entertainers getting into shenanigans. It starts off mostly about 2 girls that stop being friends and kind of spiraling in their early 20s. Real fun to write, but yeah, I accidentally... So in Bite, book 2, there's a character in here called Eric E. Where is it at? Bravos. Can't remember how I spelled it. Serena. Jesus. This is way longer than I thought it was. Eryx. E-R-Y-X. I couldn't remember if I had 2 I's or... No. No, this all came from my brain. I had a reoccurring dream of the scene... Let's see here. I've been so focused on the other one that I'm writing. But there is... What chapter was it in? No, chapter 5 is his version of it. It was chapter 3, I think. Yeah, chapter 3. So I had a reoccurring dream of chapter 3, and I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna write a book. And then I smashed this out between October and like halfway through December. And this is the first book I've ever written. So book 2, I've been so close to finishing book 2 for a while now. Not like typing out the entirety of book 2, but the storyboard of book 2. I got really distracted. There's a scene that I need to finish in my brain of they're going to the capital, but it has to make sense, right? So I have to, like, the character motivations need to make sense and stuff like that. Yeah, sometimes you just get stuck on a point. Like, it is what it is. So I'm gonna do my best to have the exact same illustrator do the cover of this. I have the concept for the cover of book 2 already done, but I'm not allowed to commission it until I've written 75% of the book. So I get to have the cover. I think I've timed it. I think I've calibrated the time frame for how long it takes the cover to get done. And then by the time I finish the book in its entirety, she'll be done with the cover of book 2, and then I can send it out for ARC raids with the cover of book 2. But I'd never written a book before. I didn't know how long it took to illustrate that stuff. So book 2, I have pretty well handled in my brain, and then book 3 is the one that I have to write more so from start to finish. I have like I have like 2 or 3 scenes already already done in my head, because it plays kind of like a movie in my head, which makes it a little bit easier to make the scenes. But it still has to make sense. You still have to follow like a plot, you know. And then I am also working on an Asian billionaire duet, but I've kind of gotten distracted with that one. It's really hard to write a book, you guys. You have to focus, and that's not my strong suit. I tend to write best in the winter, but I got kind of busy this winter, so we'll see if I can pick that back up around about this October. You really have to follow through anything. Yeah, I do. Otherwise it'll drive me nuts. Like, for example, I couldn't sleep until, like, I couldn't have other dreams until I finished this book, because it needed to be written. And so I wrote it, and then I was like, ooh, what if I wrote something more modern and in first person? And so I was like, yeah, I challenged myself, I'll do that. But now I'm like, so the program that I use to do the voiceovers is really like, it's basically, they're like one and done, like they won't do any alterations. So I was like, you know what, if I'm going to release it as a paperback and an audiobook, I might as well like polish up some scenes that they're pretty good, but I want them to be better if I'm gonna have it printed, you know what I mean? Same thing what I did with this. I had like 12 revisions on this book, which was nuts. And so then this will also be available as an ebook, a paperback, and an audiobook. So then those two will be done, and then maybe my brain will let me finish the plot for my duet. Because I already have a lot of the scenes written in my head. I just need to sit down and do it. You know what I mean? It's hard because I have to have like 1,000 things I'm doing, or I'll drive myself crazy. I can't sit still just as a person, but it is a trade-off, like, and you have to plan it seasonally around the things you're doing as well, because there's not a lot to do in the winter, so it's a really great time to write. You can't get me to write shit in the summer though. Summertime, I do all outside, like, farming stuff. I don't remember Canon being around any of these scenes at all. I remember pretty prominently that Shannon was involved in this stuff, but I don't remember Canon hanging out with them at all. 永遠に何も学べない。何にも至れない。そうさ。だからこそ人は上達を実感して面白くなるんじゃねえかよ。私だって最初はさ、右手と左手が別々に動くってだけでもう全然ダメだったぜ。でも少しずつコツが分かってくるとさ、だんだん当たり前になってきて。I don't think it's so much writer's block. I just get pulled in a lot of different directions, and I think I'm more prone to putting more on my plate than I can handle, but then it's really rewarding when things just like work out and you just hit a flow state and get like a ton of things done all at once. Like the other day, I've been waiting for my 4-wheeler's battery to get fixed, and my roommate fixed it for me, which was really, really cool of her. And then I was able to do like 4 or 5 different things that I've been like waiting forever to finish. Oh, nice. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I never thought I would be a writer, but like I've written a bunch of stories. I have a couple plant-based horror stories that I wrote like almost a decade ago that I was just like fucking around doing, and my husband's like, what do you mean you've written before? I'm like, yeah, but I'm not like a writer. And he's like, you could write a book. And I was like, I don't know. I don't think I could. He's like, have you ever tried? And then I was like, fuck it. Yeah, I'll write a book. And then he wrote a book, and I'm pissed because he's like so effortlessly good at it. It's not even funny. But he's writing more of like a self-development book. Oh, there's nothing better than getting a bunch of shit done. Like, honestly, it's better than a cigarette after sex, you guys. That might be TMI. But. It's also especially funny if you know that I'm allergic to tobacco, so it is 100% a metaphor. And here in like 10 days or so, I'm gonna potentially have a bunch of baby chicks. So I'll have to do like not necessarily a ton more farm chores, but more farm chores. And it's not a lot, but it becomes a lot if you don't manage it properly. Like, you have to time everything just perfectly. It doesn't hurt that I wake up at like between noon and 2, which not lately. I've been waking up at like 4. But if you wake up at like noon to 2 and then you don't go to bed until like 6 to 8, like if you basically my schedule is like completely the opposite of a normal person's, and it really does help out getting a lot of that stuff done. I miss I have a bunch of chickens. I have like, I think I have like 30 chickens right now. I fed them a bunch of fish today. They were so stoked. They're having a great time. And I've been trying to get some videos for you guys of, one of my chickens is half Swedish flower. Oh, nice. Yeah, I've had cattle before, and I don't think I would ever have cattle again. I've had horses before, too. Not the biggest fan of that. What kind of chickens? I have a ton of chickens, actually. I have, from my favorites, I have Swedish flower hens. I have a couple of those. They're the smartest chickens, and in fact, my Swedish flower hen cross, she knows how to use a cat door, which Grandma's very excited about. Not so much, because the chicken breaks into her house and eats a bunch of cat food, which is hilarious to me. It's kind of grown on Grandma. She's like, Praline's in here again, and she just, like, comes through the cat door and just, like, gorges herself on cat food, which is... What a ridiculous chicken. She's the only one that knows how to do that, too, which is funny. And then, her father, Orn, is full Swedish flower hen, and he is very suspicious of my husband every time he comes out there to do, like, any kind of farm chores and stuff with me, or just to, like, kind of hang out. Orn's like, hey, he's here to steal my hens. Because he recognizes that it's, like, a large man over there. And I'm like, Orn, it's fine. He's not here to steal your hens. Like, but he's like, hey, I'm the biggest rooster. And it's like, calm down, buddy. The cat food's not great for them. It's not terrible, but their chickens are nuts. Mine are pretty cool, though. I like my chickens. They're all really tame. I don't have any naughty chickens, for the most part. And then, like, none of them are a pain. You know what I mean? Like, none of them are aggressive. But I have lavender Orpingtons, which are pretty cool. Those are like a purple chicken, and they're ginormous. They're huge birds. I have Australorps, which are pretty awesome. I like them. They're like this really pretty iridescent black. I think I have one Rhode Island Red. She's like one of the original chickens I got like 6 years ago. Is this the chicken chat? Listen, for just a moment, it's a chicken chat. I need to get my other channel going, but I'm still waiting on like a power and Wi-Fi connect to over where I'm trying to do all that stuff. So that is the sticking point on that. But once that gets finished, I'll have those completely separate. I'll have all my outdoor like touch grass stuff on that one, and then I'll have all of my like gaming and like kind of nonsense things over here, and then all of my book related stuff other than like just checking in kind of stuff will be on my author channel and stuff like that when chickens cry. Roosters. I had an Australic rooster and Isa Browns and hatched them. Oh, nice, nice. Yeah, Australics are pretty cool. One of my husband's favorites. I have 4 roosters right now. My husband's favorite is a Moran's, black copper Moran's and Australic cross. He's the very first chicken that we hatched on the farm. His name is Cesare. He's gorgeous and fantastic. He hurt his leg the other day though, so right now he is in the infirmary with the hen that I have that is hatching our new generation of chickens right now. I have an incubator nest and I have an under my chicken nest, and we're gonna see which one of those turns out better. Hopefully they both turn out and I just have like a ton of chickens hatched. But I don't think I'm gonna get that lucky. I think I'm gonna have to transfer my incubator chickens to my incubator hen. Eventually I'd like to have a turkey. I'm really fond of turkeys. I think they're pretty sick. I'd like to have a peacock, but I think hubby has downvoted having peacocks. And then I'll have goats eventually. And then so we'll stream, and then I'll switch over to the Nature Chick channel, and then I'll milk goats, and then that'll be our like ritualistic sign off is I'll milk a goat and then go to sleep. The extended universe for this cult is gonna go so stupid crazy over the next 10 years, you guys have no idea. It'll either be like a rags to riches story, or it'll be me slowly going insane. Either way, 10 out of 10 content. My goal ultimately is to peasant max. And then slowly you guys will just see my hair go completely gray, and I'll be giving you guys fortunes and like just holding a ginormous rooster. I'm just like, the bones and skulls tell a tale. Do I live in... I don't know where that is. No, I live in the Pacific Northwest. I feel like I've said this to you guys before, but I'm very suspicious of characters with hats. I feel like the fact that they have a hat indicates that they have something to hide. Like, I feel like I would not be surprised if it came to our attention that Canon is a catboy. Like, that he's a secret catboy, you know? Oh, no. No, all my neighbors are Mexican. Which is why I get the best tamales. It's tamale season. And in the fall, too, we have, me and my neighbor and my coworker, we have, like, a soup group. And so I provide all of the, like, mushroom and vegetable and, like, beef soups, and they do all, like, the chicken soups and stuff like that. I think I'm gonna introduce them to, like, a chicken dumpling soup, too. I'm pretty excited. One of my girlfriends in Canada has a really cool recipe for, stovetop dumpling soup, which I'm excited to try. Also, I feel like, unironically, it is a canon event that Jessica, a girl that is predisposed to music and the arts, likes a sad boy. Oh, yeah. Soup, listen, I don't understand why more people don't soup. Soup is so good for you. It's like a very nutritionally dense, hydrating meal. 10 out of 10.
何の話？家具だから恋ができないとか、そういう話ならもう聞きたくないよ。カノン君は家具なんかじゃない。人間だよ。
I don't think canon being furniture dissuades Jessica at all. Yeah, she's like, I can fix this furniture. Yeah, soup is amazing. In the
かつて魔女
fall,
は
I make
教
a
えてくれました。
Mahakan dwarven soup, which is straight from The Witcher, by the way, and it's chanterelles, bacon, onions, potatoes, delicious, with like a nice like hunk of sourdough bread to dip in there. I mean, you could cut like 4 or 5 cords of wood with that. Just a hearty. It makes you want to like smelt metal. You know what I mean? It makes you want to like hit the forge and like, you know, take the pickaxe to the mine. You know what I mean?
それは愛だと。それはこの世に住まう人間は当たり前のように享受できるものです。しかし家具として生み出されたこの世ならざる身には当たり前ではないのです。その当たり前でないものを得るには魔法か奇跡が必要なんです。
さっきからこれがわからないの。
何がわからぬというか聞かせよ。
今回のゲームが始まり、短くない時間がシャノンやカノンの恋への決意に割かれてきたわ。それ自体は自らを家具と蔑んできた少年少女の青春の決意と成長の物語と好意的に見てもいい。でも二人のある前提にさっきから強い違和感を覚えるの。
なぜ魔法が必要なのかであるか。
シャノンもカノンも、いえ、あえて家具と呼ぶわ。家具たちは最初から一貫して人間とは恋愛ができないと主張してきた。そこに黄金蝶のブローチという魔法が介在し、その魔法という奇跡の結果、ジョージお兄ちゃんとの恋愛が成立した。そう主張してるわ。
身分の違いによる許されぬ恋が実るには魔法の奇跡でもないことにはありえぬと。
No, that's
そう考
entirely
えた
possible.
としても無理はあるまい。
そうね。だから使用人の身分であるシャノンとカノンが共に後ろ宮家の人間に恋をし、許されざる恋に苦悩して自らを家具と卑下したとしても、それは納得できるの。
ではそなたの納得できない点とは。
再び魔法の力がなければ結婚はできない。それがシャノンとカノンの二人の共通認識になってる。これがどうしてもよく理解できないの。
Oh, I see what it is. I don't know how that got turned back on. My bad. Is that better?
結ばれようとする二人の間に立つなぞ。
OBS is like, are you sure you wanted to have this turned off? And it's like, yes, OBS, I am.
そういうこと。伴侶を生涯守りきると誓ったジョージお兄ちゃんにとって、両親の反対や感動さえ恐れるものではない。むしろそれらさえも彼女への愛を示すちょうどいい試練だとさえ思っているわ。つまり二人は必ず結婚する。誰も拒めない。そして二人は婚約を快諾した。
I don't know, I feel like the government has something to say about that.
阻めない。
Potentially.
馬に蹴られてなんとやらであるな。
そう。だから不思議なの。魔法なんて必要ない。しかし、ジョージお兄ちゃんはきっぱりと誓ってるわ。両親に婚約を認められなくても構わないと。そう。二人の婚約を阻む理由は何も存在しないの。そしてそれはシャノンがよく知ってるはず。
There's not a single thing wrong with their engagement.
なぜ彼女はこの順風満帆な婚約を受けたこの夜になおも魔法の奇跡を祈るの？
魔法の奇跡を得なければ結ばれる資格もないというのが。
Yeah, it turned back, so it, desktop audio takes any noise that's going on my computer and records it into the stream, whereas specifically the game audio, that can be selected, but sometimes OBS decides to just turn those off for whatever reason.
愛し合う二人に 結ばれるための他にどんな奇跡が必要だっていうの？
なるほど。
Yeah, it is weird that, like, it, yeah, I guess that makes sense. It is weird that they're like, he's like, no, we're gonna get married, here's the ring, I am engaged to you now. And she's like, oh, it's a miracle, we should be together. And it's like, kind of seems like all he has to do is, like, sign the paperwork, right? I mean, you're an orphan, like, who's your legal guardian?
障害は何も存在しないのよ。クラウスと夏日に結婚を認めさせようと思わない限り。
Yeah, who's Shannon's legal guardian? That might be important, because if Shannon's legal guardian doesn't consent to the marriage, that might be the problem. Maybe?
カノンもまた生き方を変えた。そして素直な気持ちを伝え、ジェシカお姉ちゃんと二人で恋路を歩み始めた。必要ないのよ。もはや魔法は。 片思いの相手になら恋のおまじないも必要かもしれない。でももはや両者は相思相愛。意思も疎通できて。
The miracle is that Shannon has to pry George away from his role as a Discord mod. One day, kitten, we will be married. Then me and my princess will be head of the Ushiro Mia family.
つまりこういうことよ。どうして家具は恋をしてはいけないの？
I have all kinds of different colored eggs. I have blue and green and like dark chocolate and some like cream colored eggs. I don't have any white eggs though because none of them are pure. None of them are purebreds anymore. Like the purebred Swedish flower hens lay a white egg, but I think all of my hens that are Swedish flower are crosses. Hopefully after I hatch all of the eggs that I have currently, I'll get more green layers. I like the green and pastel eggs. But I like the green and blue pastel eggs, but I also really like the like dark chocolate Moran's eggs. Excuse me? George can clap his feet like that one guy. What? Oh, nice. Yeah, and I also have, for the most part, so my aunt likes to hatch the eggs specifically. So I'm like, hey, anytime a chick hatches, I want you to take a picture of the chick out of the egg. Because the color of the egg determines who the mother is, but the color of the chick determines who the father is because of the feathering. So I have it down to a partial science where if my lavender Orpington plus my lavender Orpington, that makes a lavender Orpington baby, so they will have lavender feathers and a black beak and eyes. But if it is any of the other roosters mixed with the lavender, they will have light pastel head feathers, I believe, and then their body will be black. So it's like you can see the different coat patterns and stuff like that. And if they're a rooster, they will always be red. So I'm like, if you see any of them that hatch that are red, do not get attached to them because those are destined for soup. And then if you mix, I think I had like a silver laced Wyandotte, and you mix that with I can't remember which rooster it was, but it'll make like a different lacing pattern and stuff like that. It's really fun. If I can find it, there's actually a calculator that you can put them into. If you know the like color genetics of your chicken, and the feathering patterns of their parents, it'll tell you the like Punnett square likelihood of like what the babies will look like, and then what they'll look like as adults, which is really fun. Because if you pick the right mixture of chickens, when they hatch, you'll know every time what their gender is, so you'll know immediately what the ratio of male to female is, which is really fun. Kind of like how if you have a calico cat, 98 or something like that % of the time it'll be female.
反魔法の毒素がなくなり権限することができるのと同じに大勢の人間がそのアイテムの魔力を信じれば逆に魔力を維持することもある。
皮肉な話ですね。私たち魔女がどんな魔法を授けても
Jurian, I don't know what that is. Is that
人間次第なんですね。
薬もそうだと聞いているぞ。
It is outside my medical knowledge. But hopefully that works out for you.
人間にはより大きい効果が出るという。
あ、ちょっとわかります。風邪薬とか飲んだ時、薬効の解説書とか読んでると薬の効きがいいような気がしますよね。
Yeah, there's a, like I said, there's a, I think is a German guy actually, if I recall, that put all of that information into, a calculator that'll show you what they turn into. It's pretty neat. I use it, I used to use it before when I had 3 roosters, because then I could determine based off of the different coat patterns of each of my 3 roosters, what they would throw. So that I could, if I separated my coop, then I could ensure the specific offspring of those chickens and sell the eggs for like those express purposes to get those chickens. Like making a sex-linked chicken, which just means a chicken that you can identify based off of its gender through feathering or other physical observable factors. I mean, if it's in the fall, farming is so weird because I don't think a lot of people do, doing the math is one thing, but doing it is another. No, you don't have to do the math. Like, you just input what your chicken looks like, and it'll tell you. Like, no math involved. I say calculator, but in so much as it's, factor A plus factor A equals factor B. You know what I mean? Or factor A to the B, or whatever. I'll find it. I'll make a note right here so I don't forget. Chicken. Read. It's kind of fun to mess with. I'll put it in the stream chat in the Discord. Which made a chicken meal with magic. Listen, you don't have to do magic to end up with too many roosters. I know that for a fact. The last time that I hatched chickens, I ended up with like 70% roosters, and I was pissed. I had like 6 hens and like 12 roosters. I was like, how the hell did this happen? It was candy. I hope it's all those marshmallow pumpkins. I could make that, by the way. Ooh, guys, would you tell me in the future, do you want me to make natural marshmallow Umineko fluffy snacks? I could do that. Easy peasy. Turns out natural marshmallows super fun to grow.
いかほどのものか。
It's good for cold and flu season also.
おや、
It's
いかがでしょうか。
it's indirectly related to hibiscus. Did you know that?
これは魔法になるでしょうか。うん、なるとも。そなたが魔法にて伏せたカップの中に黄金の花びらを生み出した。
Just one.
見事な魔法であった。
What does it mean when the text is gold? I've never seen that before.
愛がなければ見えない。それは理解できてるの。
これを手品だと断じるもよし、魔法だと信じるもよし、そのものの毒素次第であろうな。
でもこれはかつての魔法の一部を説明はできるけど、全てを説明することはできない。
Gross. I don't like that at all.
話を戻すけれど、この程度の魔法やおまじないを信じるという程度の話では、
Please tell me
か
that's
た
a
くなに
metaphor.
恋ができないと嘆いていた家具たちに、それを許すことのできる黄金蝶のブローチとは一体何かという問いに答えられない。
そこにいる二人のベアとの話を鵜呑みにするなら、魔法には彼らの諦めを取り除く力があると考えるのが妥当であろう。
どうして家具は恋をしてはいけないの？どうして魔法のブローチの力が必要なの？確かにあんたやベアトたちの話は一見、それにおぼろげとはいえ答えを与えているような気がする。でも
I guess I
朗
should
読
write
者だ
that
から
down
言
as
わ
a
せて、
question.
それでは納得がいかないの。
納得とは、
家具たちはもっともっと悲壮な宿命に抗おうとしているわ。恋愛成就のお守りを託されたくらいで
Mini cows
自
are
己
going to be
改
the
革
next
が
dog.
できる
Mini
程度の
cows
ものだ
are
とは
terrible.
思えないの。現にシャノンはかつてジ
Okay.
ョージお兄ちゃんとの出会いのきっかけを作ったのはブローチのおかげだけど、それ以降は魔法の力を借りずに関係を深めたいと言ってベアトにブローチを返そうとさえしたわ。
The gold text she said was I'm gonna just for half a second, you guys, I need to have that there. And then I'm going to screenshot that to remember what I'm talking about, because I won't remember. Yeah. Get out of there. Oh, once again, my phone's like, you're at like 2% battery. And it's like, once again, my phone's like, you're at like 2% battery. And it's like, copy and delete. And then I'll put that. Oh, it won't just let me... Okay, I guess I have to do that a second time. Sorry, you guys, I didn't know it wouldn't let me do that. Does this count as magic? Okay, save to photos. Hasn't showed up on there yet. Send that over. Choose image. Oh my gosh. For an extra $9.95, we'll make this image, image more refined. It's like, easy.
なのになぜ再びその力を必要としているの？さて、恋と結婚は別物としか言いようがないであろうな。聞かせてよ。
Yeah, how do you feel, Max, how do you feel about this new slim thick witch with the horns?
思考を巡らすそなたを見ることもまた朗読の楽しみだ。私の見解を話せば、そなたはそれに納得し、思考を止める。それでは朗読が面白くない。
すでに答えを知ってる推理小説を読ませて、右往左往するところを見て楽しんでるってわけね。
Is this you guys' favorite witch so far, like character model wise? Because I think, me personally, I think the color scheme of this outfit is whack, but the outfit itself eats. You know what I mean? Like the green and that shade of green and that shade of pink, I'm not a big fan of. But the outfit itself has potential. You know what I mean? Can't see the game. Bro, what are you talking about? Can't see the game. Oh, you are... I see. You are in the vertical for YouTube. That's just for clipping. You need to switch to the horizontal one, and then you'll be able to see everything. Yeah, you're in the horizontal. You need to swap over to... You're in the vertical. You need to swap over to the horizontal. Unfortunately, YouTube doesn't link those two, which I think is silly. I think if YouTube had any sense in their head, they would make it so that if you turned your phone, it went to the other one, but apparently we don't have that technology. Even though I'm certain that I've seen that before in an instance of streaming, I just can't remember on what site. I could have sworn that used to be a YouTube feature, did it not? Or am I just... Yeah, there we go. I could have sworn that was a feature at some point, was it not? Like, was that old school Twitch that I'm thinking of, where you could look at it one way, and then when you turned your screen, it, like, expanded the view? I don't think I mean, there's not that many streaming services, so I wonder if I've seen that before. That's definitely a technology that exists. Nice. I'm happy to hear it. And to a degree, I have the vertical set up that way so it doesn't spoil it. So that you could clip something and not know what's going on. Ooh.
魔法の奇跡の存在する証拠なのです。
ごめん。何の話？
僕もシャノンも恋を成就させるには魔法が必要なのです。そのための鍵がこのブローチ。僕が踏んで割ったので。
But only one of us can use the brooch. Like, sure. All my joints and muscles are so sore. I'm probably gonna have to wait a minimum of 5 more days until I can do more strenuous outdoor labor. Dude, being weak sucks. I need to lift more weights. By more, I mean more than 0, too. Embarrassing. The weakness of my flesh disgusts me.
大丈夫です。でも、直接は見ないで。目をやられます。
One brooch for magic. Fair enough. That, you know what? If, let's say for sake of argument, I believed in this particular form of magic, Enchanting items having one charge to them does make sense. So at least they're logically consistent there. I'm not gonna lie, this game has very much radicalized me towards, like, butterfly-shaped, hair accessories. I think I'm gonna be the 30-year-old woman with butterfly clips in my hair, straight up. And one of them just has, like, a giant ribbon on it that says, "Have you asked me about Umineko?" One sec.
Sa sa sa. 今は大丈夫ですよ。急ぎましょう。
お父様が甘いものをお好きだといいのですが。
ええ、お好きですもの。甘いものに限らず、何でもよくお召し上がりになりますよ。
Oh, we don't talk about, like, religious stuff on stream. Religion or politics, just generally, probably no-go. Unless you want to talk about, like, the cult specifically as, like, an abstract, non-religious concept. I feel like the TOS is pretty clear on that, and also, religious and political topics just tend to be kind of a bummer.
今の私に許されていることはこんなことくらいですので。
わらわがバトラにクッキーをか。なぜに夜の支配者であるわらわが稀な客人であるバトラ
Ooh, I
に
need
そ
to
こまで
remember
尽
to
くす
fix
のか。
that
わからん。
website. Fix.
ここで何をしている？
お父様、失礼しました。決して大切なゲームの邪魔に来たわけでは。
どうしてここに入れた？
I love that he lowers the octave of his voice. He's speaking from the back of his throat.
親方様に内密で差し入れをお届けしたいとのことで、私が鍵をお貸ししました。
Why have you permitted the women into my study, Genji?
親方様に喜んでもらおうと、ベアトリーチェ様が一生懸命クッキーを焼いたんですよ。
Hey, yo, speaking of, what's you guys' favorite type of cookie?
源氏さんがクッキーを焼く
Safe
の
for
がお
work
上手だ
answers
ったなん
only.
て、とても驚きました。
最近は全然ですけど、昔の源氏さんはそれはもういろいろなお料理を作ってくれたんですよ。
I think mine is oatmeal
特
chocolate
に
chip.
お菓子作りはお上手で。
クッキー？
はい、お父様への差し入れです。大切なゲーム
Double
の発
chocolate
祥を
chip. Nice, nice.
心よりお祈りいたしております。
親方様。
ありがとう。感謝する。だが甘い
When
もの
my
は苦手だ。
idiot girlfriend gives me cookies in the middle of me doing dark magic.
親方様。
同じことを
That's
もう
great,
一度言わ
honey.
せるな。
Thanks.
片付けて下がってくれ。
Don't interrupt me again.
親方様、せめて一口お口に運ばれるわけには
That's
ま
right,
いませ
Battler.
んか。
Never forget
ベ
that
ア
it's
トリーチェ様
possible
が
that she could be
親
trying to
方
poison
様
you.
のためを思いこしらえたものでございます。
気持ちはありがたく受け取っておく。今は大切なゲームの最中だ。俺にとっても、ベアトにとっても大切な最後のゲームなんだ。だから頼む。俺の心をかき乱すような真似は慎んでくれ。
それはあまりにもひどうございます。気持ちは感謝する。大いに結構でございます。しかしそれをせめて一口お召しになる形ではお示しできませんか。
お父様。
熊沢、 それを片付け下がるように。
親方様。
失礼しました。片付けましょう、熊沢さ
ん。そういうわけには参りません。大切なゲームに少しでも力添えしたいベアトリーチェ様が、せめてこのような形でもお力になりたいと。
Imagine these cookies are just
差し入れで
inedible.
ございます。それを一口さえせずに下げろとは、女をバカにするに
They're
も
rock
程がござい
hard.
ます。
She didn't put any baking powder in them at all.
親方様も男ならば、女の手作りの差し入れにせめてどうか一口で結構でございますので、お手をつけてください
Nah,
ま
not
せ。
if she had help. They're probably good.
女の気持ちを踏みにじろうというおつもりでしたら、この熊沢、殺されたってここは引きませんよ。ええ、引きません。
熊沢さん、もう結構ですから。
そういうわけには参りません。親方様、これに毒でも入っているとお思いですか？
That's a weird thing to lead with, but the first thing I thought of immediately. But of course. Have Genji eat a cookie first, just to be safe. Eat one in front of me, and then I'll eat one. You can't ever... Listen, a lot of people end up in bad situations based off of specifically, like... Hold on. The word is escaping me. A lot of people end up in bad situations based off of, like, the laws of hospitality and stuff like that, I think. Where it's just like, oh, well, I brought you a gift, so the least you can do is try it. And it's like, pretty sure there was some woman not too long ago that, like, poisoned her entire family. So it's like, you know, maybe, just maybe, you should be a teensy bit suspicious before, accepting, like, gifts from strangers or people that you don't know particularly well. Like, I don't eat food from people I don't know, which I know is, like, probably weird, I guess, but guess who's never had food poisoning around the holidays? This bitch. Because people think it's nice, like, if I've not been to your house and seen your kitchen, I don't want food from you. You know what I mean? I think that's a pretty good rule of thumb, too. You know? Like, people think it's super nice around the holidays to, like, make these little snacks or whatever, and I'm just like, I don't know you, and I make food in a commercial kitchen, and I don't think that you made this in a commercial kitchen, and I don't know if you know, like, basic food safety. So I'm probably not going to eat these cookies from a stranger. You know what I mean? Now, if my, like, reasonably, if, like, my girlfriend of, like, a couple weeks or something like that made me cookies, I'd be like, okay. Like, I mean, like, if I'm willing to eat her, I'm probably willing to eat the food she makes, good, bad, or indifferent. But the first time I eat your banana bread and it's raw in the middle, I'm not eating your food again. Your food privileges have been revoked, you know? And I feel like that's probably, like, a pretty good metric for not getting accidentally poisoned by a stranger or loved one. No, because she tricked us that one time, remember? If I watch her prepare it, then yes. If I don't have any... Once again, if I watch her prepare it, then yes, I would. If Kumasawa eats one in front of me 20 minutes after she does so, then yes, I would. But I'm definitely wandering around the room. I'm making conversation. I'm like avoiding eating it until I see somebody else eat it. Because I've been to a lot of potlucks where the food is just straight up inedible, and I'm at a point in my life where I don't care about offending you. I'm not eating this indistinguishable pile of slop. You know what I mean? At one point, somebody tried to feed me a casserole with unmelted Kraft cheese on the top of it, and I was like, no. Because I made cranberry brie bites and lamb meatballs with tzatziki, homemade by the way. And honestly, I don't recommend making homemade tzatziki. The one you can get at the store is just fine. And I was like, yeah, I'm not eating that. You know what I mean? I appreciate the effort, except I don't know. Like, there are just certain people whose food I won't eat. And I'm okay with that. There's a reason no one wants to eat your macaroni salad.